You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped drowning in RFEs, intake calls, and late night filings. I used to hire freelancers who barely knew what a G28 was. Total chaos. Then I found IMMI support, virtual immigration paralegals trained in real case prep, docket-wise, and USCIS workflows. Now my calendar's clean, my clients are happy, and my firm runs while I relax. You can hustle or you can outsource smart. I chose freedom. I chose IMMI support.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Immigration Talk Show. You're watching Daily Immigration Dose streaming live at 4 p.m. EDT. And it's me, your Sam. It's me, Sam, your host, and here's my co-host, Nepasa Pradhan, is also here. And before moving ahead, let me read out this very important disclaimer that you have to keep in your mind throughout the session. That is, by watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not a professional advice. Use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. And with that, friends, we are not just here on YouTube, but also available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. So do follow us and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. And with that, my co host is also here. So, hi, Napasa, how are you doing today?
Hi, Sam. It's always lovely being here on Daily Migration Dose because we also have our viewers who frequently join us. So I look forward to this because it's a daily show. And friends out there, I hope you have been checking us out here on Immigration Talk Show. This is Daily Immigration Dose, a discussion program where you're also free to participate by commenting wherever you're watching and sharing your views, especially on the topic of discussion. So do join us, participate, and you can do that by commenting wherever you're watching. We are live right now on YouTube and on X, but you can also check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on Instagram. So connect with us, stay in touch with us, and don't forget to subscribe. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Subscribe now and ask your friends also to join in, your friends and family or folks out there, who could benefit most from all of these information and content that we have in our channel. And another best thing is you can also call in to join us on this discussion. You can see the number on the screen already above. The number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So join us, and yeah, this discussion today, it's going to be very interesting, and it's current topic. So is deportation the only solution, to America's immigration challenges? It's I think a topic or a question that many people have been having, because deportation is something we hear every day, and detentions, deportations, and raids happening. People have been, well, facing this, especially this issue, very much recently. So today we are going to be speaking because in the recent months also, we've seen all these immigration enforcement increase here in America, and we'll talk about many things on this show. But before all of that, as usual, we are going to come up with a couple of news updates for you. So yeah, I think, Sam, why don't you go first?
All right. So, friends, I have a news update, and stay tuned because this is going to be a very important one. And that is President Trump's administration challenges Maryland judges, what it means for US immigration. So, if we understand what happened, then the President Trump administration has asked that all 15 federal judges in Maryland to step aside from a major immigration case. Yes, they want the case to be reviewed by a new judge from outside the state. And they said that they wanted to keep it fair and in line with national immigration laws. That is why they are taking this step. So the question is, why the legal move? So this comes after a Maryland judge said the government must wait until 4 p.m. on the second business day. That means before deporting someone who files a habeas corpus. And the administration feels that this delay could actually slow down the whole process, and conflict with the recent Supreme Court ruling will also be there. So you should know what the government says. The DOJ, Department of Justice, says that such orders could lead to confusing and uneven rules in different states. They want one clear, consistent process for the whole country. And why it matters? Because this is a rare legal move that usually doesn't happen, but it is legal. Also, if approved, the case will be handled by a neutral judge from another state. And it's not about, stopping immigration enforcement, but it is making sure that yes, laws are applied fairly and consistently across all the 50 states. So, if we look at the bigger picture, friends, then this case has set an example for future immigration cases nationwide. And it's not about finding the right balance between legal protections and the government's ability to enforce immigration law. So, this is the news from my side. And Nipasa, please go ahead with yours.
Absolutely, Sam. Thank you so much for that news update. And what I wanted to share is President Trump's big immigration bill and what's inside. A new immigration and border security bill backed by President Donald Trump could bring in about $150 billion over the next 4 years. And the money would go, toward building more border walls, adding river barriers, expanding detention centers, and hiring thousands of law enforcement officers. So, yes, the largest chunk, which is around $46.5 billion, would be used to build and improve 700 miles of wall and 900 miles of river barriers along the US Mexico border. And supporters say it's a big step toward securing the border and managing immigration better. So this is pretty big a news, and House Speaker Mike Johnson is pushing for the bill to pass quickly, pointing to recent protests as proof the country needs stronger border control. And the Senate is working on its own version of the bill, but some experts say the details are still unclear, especially on how some of the money will actually be used. So we'll definitely bring up more news updates as we have them. But for that, friends, do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show, and ring that bell so that whenever we have discussions like these, you're always notified. And I can see Lala Brown has joined us. So hi to you, Lala. Thank you so much for joining us. We will read your comment a little later in the show, but stay with us.
That's fine. And I think, Nipasa, the topic seems to be very interesting. And I think it is a $1 million question that, everybody is asking, not only United States people, but like all across the whole world. Is really deportation the only solution to America's immigration challenges? So I think it's a very important question and a very powerful question, and I'm sure that every one of you have your different opinion. Some of you might think that of course it's not, and some of you might agree. So please do let us know about your thoughts, about your information, because we would love to know what you think, and how do you analyze these news and all these updates. And with that, Napasa, I think let's begin our session with first topic, that you can talk about mass deportation is difficult to carry out effectively.
For sure, Sam. And to speak about it, the reality on the ground, if we just consider that, deporting millions of unauthorized migrants sounds straightforward, but
Mhm.
it's incredibly hard actually, to do it in practice. And it's not like deport and they get deported. There's so much to make that process happen. And ICE, the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, has only around 7,700 field officers nationwide. And that's a very small number compared to the size of the undocumented population and where enforcement is needed. Even with increased raids and arrests in public places like job sites and courthouses, even the actual number of deportations hasn't risen significantly. And this tells us that the system has real limits, both in manpower and in logistics. So it's not just about rounding people up. It's about legal processes, detentions, transportation, and court rulings. So, yes, the system wasn't built for mass removals actually, and it's going to take a little time. But from what we see from the plans and the news which I just gave out about the bill, so I'm sure things are going to be fast forwarded as soon as it happens. And if you talk about transportation, it's expensive, even to deport one person. It's not just little money, it's a lot. And talking about mass deportation, so it's into hundreds and hundreds of them. So yes, this brings up a big question actually. If we can't actually deport everyone, what should we be doing instead? Because I think that is also the question for our show today. Is deportation the only solution to America's immigration challenges? And if not, then what else can be done? And Sam, if you can also tell us a little bit, maybe some tactics, or why are the public feeling very anxious?
All right. So I think, Napasa, what you have explained, I completely agree with that. And there are certain questions. But with that, friends, let's also understand some, enforcement tactics and also how community are they responding to it. So recently, immigration officers have been arresting people in public places. Those public places are like work sites, job sites, and courthouses and community area. And this has created a lot of fear and anxiety and stress in immigrant communities specifically. But you know what the goal is? The goal is to make sure that immigration rules are followed properly and to keep the system working effectively. So these enforcement steps are part of a bigger plan to strengthen border security and make sure that yes, the laws, those are being applied, are fair enough. However, in some communities, this has caused worry and fear, especially among families who have lived and worked in the US for many years. And because of this, some people have started protest to express their concern as well. And they want to make sure that the way enforcement is done does not harm their families or their children or communities, basically. So, in few places, tensions have risen, but most of the public response has been about starting a conversation and not creating any conflict. So it is important, friends, to remember that immigration officers, they are also doing a part of their job. They're working hard to meet the goals that has been set by the administration. And even when the situations are complicated, they're trying to balance safety, respect, and law enforcement all at the same time. In fact, some local leaders and community groups have also spoken up to make sure that everything is done carefully and without harming anyone. But they want the process to be fair and people to be safe and no matter where they live or work. So I'll say, Napasa, that even with more activity happening right now, the actual number of deportation has not gone much higher because this
Yeah.
shows that yes, challenging and complex immigration enforcements really is. It takes time, coordination should happen, and after a lot of hard work, then only those mass deportation in the history of USA is going to happen. So I'll just say, friends, that be respectful to everyone. Everybody is doing their job, and I'll say, Napasa, that deportation can be the first step to make the immigration challenges a better one. Because what other things are in terms of immigration challenges? What is the first thing? Deportation, fraud. What travel agents are doing these fraudulent activities. So it's just like a first step where the government is trying to make the system fairer, and we should be cooperative, and but we should be vocal as well. And go ahead, put your thoughts on the comment section, and we are here and love to hear what you think. And with that, friends, I think we have more and more to discuss in this very important webinar. Stay tuned, stay connected with us, and join us on this webinar by dialing up this number. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Our handle is at Immigration Talk Show. Don't go anywhere. Keep watching this session, and we'll be right back just after a short break.
You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped drowning in RFEs, intake calls, and late night filings. I used to hire freelancers who barely knew what a G28 was. Total chaos. Then I found Emmy Support, virtual immigration paralegals trained in real case prep, docket-wise, and USCIS workflows. Now my calendar's clean, my clients are happy, and my firm runs while I relax. You can hustle or you can outsource smart. I chose freedom. I chose Emmy Support.
Hello and welcome back on Immigration Talk Show. I'm Napasa and this is Sam, and you're watching Daily Immigration Dose. So it's been so far so good, and Sunita has also joined us. Thank you so much, Sunita, for joining us here on YouTube. We are going to read your comment a little later in the show, but stay with us. In a short bit, we are going to read it and also ask your friends and folks out there to join, all viewers out there. I hope you're enjoying this session and you resonate with our content here on Immigration Talk Show. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't as yet. Subscribe now. Ask your friends and folks also to check us out and subscribe. Ring that bell so that whenever we have discussions, they can join us and be a part of it. And yes, you too can be a part of this by commenting or dial in the number which you can see on the screen above. The number is 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. And today, we are discussing on this very important and I'd say a question that everybody's having on their minds lately. Is deportation the only solution to America's immigration challenges? And from what we hear, it has been difficult. Mass deportation is a little difficult to carry out effectively. It's not as easy as it sounds. Of course, there are so many things, that govern a mass deportation, whether you talk about the legal process, detention, transportation, the court rulings, so many things. It can't just happen like with a blink of an eye. So a lot of things are still happening, and one day at a time, I think we're getting there though. So now to talk more about the topic, I wanted to also touch on migrants who are deeply integrated into the economy. And it's so true because if you talk about America, it's a land of immigrants. And it's not just now that it's that, it's been like this for over generations, decades and decades now. And, here's something we often overlook if we talk about immigration debate that's happening everywhere. So many undocumented immigrants, are essential part of our economy as well. And they work in agricultural field, hospitality, construction, and even other sectors where labor shortages are real. So
Mhm.
even our president, recently acknowledged this by noting that farmers, they rely on workers who've been with them for years, for decades, for generations, the second or the third generation for some people out there. And forcing mass removals, friends, could really damage industries and small businesses. We, in fact, had a couple of episodes here on Daily Immigration Dose also, where we spoke about these very events, that have been affecting and not just individuals, but communities as a whole have been affected. So we cannot ignore any bit of it. So not just people are involved, but uh, what can I say? It doesn't really mean that immigration laws should be ignored. Everything is important. Law is law, and I think knowledge is power. You should always educate yourself, especially that we have, updates every day, new laws that come up, new rules that come up that you cannot miss out on. You have to abide by each and every rule. So also at the same time it also raises question, can we afford to lose these workers overnight? Because when it happens, it just happens suddenly. Nobody gets the time to plan or be ready for it. And what next? Or should we look for legal ways to keep them working while maintaining fair immigration rules? Well, no matter what the situation, but rules are rules and they are to be followed. And friends, I really hope that you get more knowledge on that for yourself. If you are an immigrant here, learn about what is required to be done, abide by each and every rule, because it's very important that you don't break any rules or laws. And you know it could fall heavy on you, especially if you're an immigrant. So keeping that in mind, also I wanted, Sam, if you can tell us more about a comprehensive immigration deal, if it's a real solution. Also, what else can we do if not deportation?
Okay, so well, these are the pointers, friend, that it's not from my side, but it is from the sources that we have researched and did our study from. So instead of dealing with problems one by one, the US needs a clear and balanced immigration plan that work not for one day, a few months, but for a pretty long period of time. And the goal should be to make sure the system is organized, fair, and easy to manage. Shouldn't be as complex as it is now. So when we have gone through so many news update and so many articles, we found that many people who have been living in the US, for them they are saying that for years or even decades without official immigration papers, these individuals often have steady jobs, pay taxes, raise families, and stay out of legal trouble. So it's like they are saying that these legal status should be given to these people, these undocumented workers, for a long time, because they haven't been doing anything wrong. They have been paying taxes, they have been doing their job, they are not involved in any criminal activities, until and unless if they have a clean and a clear background. Then they say that these immigrants, whether they don't have a document, but still they should deserve to get the legal status soon. And also, next can be done making sure that employers follow the law. That's very well said, because some businesses knowingly, hire the undocumented workers. And that's right, to take the advantage of them to save money or avoid paperwork. And a strong immigration policy should make sure that employers check documents properly before hiring any undocumented immigrants. Because hiring undocumented immigrants, it's just for their benefit. They are going to give them less money, and also there will be less paperwork. So it's like they are going to take the advantage. Also, there are clear rules and consequences for breaking the law, and honest businesses are protected, and unfair competition should be reduced. Next, strengthening the asylum process. Now, US offers asylum to people who are in real danger in their home countries, such as war, violence, or persecution. But right now, the asylum system is quite overloaded and misused in some cases, and people are not uh, using it in a proper way. So, a better plan can be speed up the process for those with strong and real claims, and also prevent fake or weak claims from slowing down the system, and make sure that those who truly need should get the help faster and more reliable, as this is going to protect America's tradition, of offering safety and protection from other parts of the world. Next, creating a more orderly and flexible legal immigration system. Because right now, many people wait years to come to the US legally. And modern system could, simplify the process for skilled workers, students, and families instead of putting all these difficulties or the obstacles. Also, should allow temporary work visas or guest worker programs, especially for industries like farming, hospitality, and construction, and should make immigration more predictable and fair. Well, keeping immigration system fair is, of course, it is very important thing, but keeping it predictable, well, we can't say anything on that, because right now it is very uncertain, and it is very difficult to predict what's going to happen next. So yeah, I think these were some of the pointers, Nepasa, that you asked about how they can. I mean, what comprehensive immigration deal should be the real solution. These are some of the pointers when we get connected with our sources and get in touch with viewers. So they say all these things, and these are fair enough. It's their point, and we are just here to do our job. So yes, and with that, that's all from my side. And I think now, Nepasa, you can take up some of our viewers' comment.
Yes, Sam, for sure. And Girish says, hi, Sam and Nipa. Hi to you, Girish. Really good to see you again here on the show. And well, he's asking a question. What are upcoming immigration topics that are scheduled in this channel? Well, Girish, really very nice of you to ask that. It's easy to find as well what we already have scheduled. Just go to our channel at Immigration Talk Show. If you haven't as yet subscribed, subscribe now. But also you can check out the live tab, where you can see different guest attorneys with who we have scheduled, some of our upcoming webinars, and you can also see the topics there, as we have the flyers also in each and every um, well webinar, right? So what is scheduled, you will see in how many hours or in how many days that is scheduled also. And he's asking any chance of you visa or attorney or expert live talks in this channel.
Yeah,
Well, I do hope so, but even if not, we will try to cover this topic for sure. Thank you so much for that.
that's right. Okay, so I think, Napasa, let me go ahead with Lala's question. So, hi, Lala Brown, and thank you so much for being here. Okay, so he's asking that do you know what states are using the 287G? Well, I hope I would know the answer, but I'm so sorry, Lala, I don't know about this answer. But I'm sure our attorneys might be knowing about this, and I would love to address this question to them. And soon we are going to share the answer with you. So stay tuned and stay connected with us. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then please do it right now. All right, Napasa, I think Sunita, yeah, please take it.
Sunita is saying deportation is not the only answer to America's immigration crisis. While some argue for stricter enforcement, including deportations, to address unauthorized immigration, others advocate for comprehensive solutions that include legal pathways to status, addressing the root cause of migration, and investing in community based programs. That is for sure. And thank you so much, Sunita, for giving us the POV of the others who have, different solutions to this. And I really hope that, all of this is sorted as soon as possible, because I can only feel, people feeling so uncertain, feeling so anxious, and they, yeah, I think that is much needed. So thank you so much for bringing this up as well, Sunita. And definitely, for many, we don't believe that maybe deportation is not the only solution. There are other things that can be done, and of course, the root cause of migration as well. Migration is still fine, but all these fraudulent activities going on, people not maintaining their statuses, not having the documents up to date. I think these are things that cannot be ignored. Um, Across the whole globe, I think it's very important to have your documents updated.
Hmm.
So, especially here in America as well. So, thank you, Sunita, once again. And Sam, go ahead, please, with Jay. And
Sure. So Jay is our regular viewer. So hi Jay, and thank you so much once again for having this active participation. And you are saying that American families have grappled with inflation in recent years as the cost of essential goods and services have increased, identifying it as the top issue of concern in the 2024 election, far above other issues like immigration. Months after the election, inflation remains a top concern for the majority of Americans. Well, Jay, thank you so much, for putting up this a great pointer. Absolutely, as we said that is deportation the only issue that is on the top of the immigration, list. So I think you're mentioning it in a very great way. Inflation is also very important, and we are seeing that yes, it is a major issue right now in United States in 2025. So I think we are just hoping, everything to be sorted out. And of course, U.S. economy is also a little struggling, but hopefully it doesn't go that bad. And people should, get higher, and people should work, and everybody should get a chance to contribute in the U.S. economy. And with that, I'll say thank you so much, Jay, for your participation. And to all our viewers, Lala, Girish, Sunita, thank you guys for being here. And with that, Napasa, I think we are done with our content. So I think it's time to say goodbye to our viewers and wrap up our session.
For sure, Sam. And to wrap up, well, deportation is definitely a part of immigration enforcement, but it's not the whole solution altogether, as we hear even Sunita saying that, yes, the challenges America faces today, whether you talk about labor and the backlogs, there's a call for something broader as well. And I really hope that, this tough enforcement may actually satisfy some of these goals, whether short term or long term. But it is leading to some confusion, fear, and disruption. And a smarter path forward might really help. And yeah, could be a mix of different involvement as well, whether you talk about targeted enforcement, cooperation with local law, and
Mhm.
even long overdue legal reforms as well. So I really hope that fairness to the system is brought, and everybody is left with a happier heart, I think. So I think that's it for today. But thank you so much, each one of you, for joining us today in this conversation, and especially all of you who participated, whether you lean forward towards stricter immigration enforcement or broader reform. We really hope to discuss and a lot more on this topic as well. And if you found this discussion helpful, also please do not forget to subscribe, like, and share our content with your friends and folks out there who can also benefit and join us. And also please feel free to, just like Girish did, if you have any topics that you have in mind that you want us to cover or discuss about as well, write to us. You can comment wherever you're watching, or you can even call me or WhatsApp me in this number, 408-335-6444. That's my number. You can also email me at nipa@staffingly.com, or email sam@staffingly.com. And that's it for today for sure. But check us out not just on YouTube, but also on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram. We are Immigration Talk Show. It was really lovely having all of you. It's Nipa and Sam saying bye for now. You all keep having a wonderful day ahead and keep watching Immigration Talk Show.
Bye, everyone.
You know why I'm vacationing in Dubai right now? Because I stopped drowning in RFEs, intake calls, and late night filings. I used to hire freelancers who barely knew what a G28 was. Total chaos. Then I found IMI Support, virtual immigration paralegals trained in real case prep, docket-wise, and USCIS workflows. Now my calendar's clean, my clients are happy, and my firm runs while I relax. You can hustle or you can outsource smart. I chose freedom. I chose IMI Support.